Well, this is it, you guys. We are about to finally see what the Nintendo Switch is truly about. So we've done it, guys. We are finally here. We're going to have the complete veil lifted off of Nintendo's brand new console. More than just a 3-minute trailer that we got a couple of months ago, which showed us the initial concept. We now know Nintendo is going to be taking the stage and giving us all of the details, hopefully a bunch of games. Tomorrow is going to be a continuation of the games with hopefully a lot more in store for us, potentially some surprises. I think it's going to be an amazing 2 days, starting with Nintendo's Tokyo presentation, which starts in just a few minutes, and I can't freaking stand it. So it should be noted that obviously, if you're watching this, you're watching this after we've already all learned all of the details about the Nintendo Switch, and we've already seen what Nintendo had to show us at the Tokyo event. However, I am right now recording this before then, so right now I'm on the other side of the looking glass. I have not yet seen what Nintendo is going to show us tonight, basically tonight for me right now, in Tokyo about the Switch, and obviously it's well before tomorrow's Treehouse where they're going to further elaborate on all of the crazy details and hopefully a bunch of the new games that they're planning to show us. So I am literally recording this minutes before Nintendo takes the stage in Tokyo, Japan, to give us all of these crazy details about the Switch. So I hope it's great. I hope it's awesome. I believe in Nintendo. Like I've said a couple of times, my expectations are fairly tempered. I really am not expecting this huge gala event blowout. I would love to be surprised and be wrong with that, but all I'm expecting is great details about the Switch, for the Nintendo Switch to look even better than it already does, and to hopefully have a couple, if not many, surprise game reveals and announcements. And if I get my Metroid, I might just explode from excitement, and then you never see the other half of this video. But of course, again, since you're watching this, that means I didn't explode, which either means I was able to survive the announcement of Metroid, or sadly, that means there wasn't a Metroid announcement. So either way, I'm going to shut up right now because I just need to get this thing turned off and ready to go to my TV and watch the Nintendo Switch presentation from Japan. I can't freaking wait. So I'm going to sign off for now, and I'll be back in about 2.8 seconds on the other side of the looking glass to touch base with you guys about my feelings on everything Nintendo unveiled to us about the Nintendo Switch tonight. So you guys be excited. I'm excited. I can't freaking wait. Let's go Nintendo. Let's go Metroid. And I'll see you on the other side. Well, there you go. That was the Nintendo Switch presentation live from Japan. It's officially concluded. I just finished watching it probably 3 minutes ago. It is as fresh in my brain as can possibly be at the time that I'm talking to you right now. Obviously there's a lot to talk about and get into when it comes to the presentation. I have to say, in the now 3 minutes it's probably been since I finished watching the stream, got off the phone with my brother, touched base with my girlfriend, looked at the internet for like 3 seconds and saw some details are already coming out that Nintendo is officially releasing into the wild and on the internet. I don't really know what those things are yet, so I can only talk about the base knowledge of what just happened in the stream and in the presentation itself. So let's talk about the presentation, shall we? Because I feel pretty good, really good, in fact, in saying that the presentation, I think, went exactly as I predicted it to go. It's pretty much the exact kind of presentation and format and the kind of feeling and vibe that I expected to get, and that I kind of tried to let everyone know, anyone who managed to watch my videos. My videos don't reach hundreds of thousands of people, to be fair. They reach a couple of thousand people. So, maybe not everyone had a chance to consider this guy's possible opinion and theory about how this presentation was maybe going to play out. But let's back up a minute and talk about it. I have to say, overall, I liked it. I thought it was fine, and probably because my expectations were, I feel, appropriately in check. Because even though I would have loved more, I didn't expect more. I just didn't expect more. What did I say? Nintendo is the king of setting us up with a certain level of hype and expectation and letting us down. And I feel like we have to be a little bit careful with that stuff. And the way this whole thing was presented, it's not like there isn't times where we should expect Nintendo to blow us away, but they never made me feel like that was this event. And that's what I spent 2 videos over this last week talking to you guys about, is I never got this feeling from Nintendo that it was going to be E3 in January. And was it E3 in January? I don't think so. And from what I saw in the 3 seconds on the internet after the show, I don't think many people felt that it was an E3 in January either. So just saying, I did what I could to spread my message and share what I thought was going to be the case. I want it to be wrong, but I feel like I wasn't. I feel pretty good that what Nintendo did was kind of exactly what I predicted. It was business minded. Even some of the things that Kimishima said at the end were kind of discussed. He said, "I hope that we've gained your support," was one of the things he said near the end. That's talking to business folk in the audience, by the way. That's what that kind of thing is. It wasn't, "Hey, I've hoped we've gained you your business and your trust to pick up our product." It was, I've hoped we've gained your support from all the different people in the room, business partners, marketing partners, and investors probably, and obviously some press. So anyway, I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time talking just about that. I will say I still liked the presentation. They did very Nintendo things, you guys. I feel like, maybe too many people went into this forgetting who Nintendo really is. The Switch looked so exciting based on that October trailer that I think some people thought Nintendo still wasn't Nintendo. And I'm still glad they're Nintendo. I wanted more. I wanted some things to be very different, you guys. I didn't love the presentation because even though it's what I kind of expected, I still would have wanted more. But let's get down to the system itself. Something else that I did predict, and I'm going to stand by now that I've seen it, is the system itself looks great. I love the technology. I love the console, the screen, the docking thing, the way it's so easy to connect to your TV, what the experience of gaming on your TV and gaming on the go is going to be like. They did a great job showing that with a couple of animations of the actual technology. They gave us a couple of hard concrete numbers and information, also like I predicted, about some of the details, and I think that was all fine information to learn. I pretty much liked all of it. The controllers. Wow, the Nintendo Switch relies way more on those Joy-Con controllers than any of us could have ever predicted. Those things do a lot. They are the new Wiimote. They are the new gamepad. They are the new touchscreen, glassesless 3D technology. They are the new technology for Nintendo's new console. It's not really just that it's a portable screen you can plug to your TV or take with you. It's also the Joy-Con controllers. They do a crazy amount of things. That HD Rumble thing is so exciting. And they did a great job selling it with that little video presentation with the animations with the dude and all the spinning shit and the ice cubes and all that. Wow, that was so cool. I love the way it looked to attach them to the Joy-Con and to separate. And it's got an IR sensor and it's got a gyroscope thing for gyro sensing. It answers so many of the gameplay possibility questions we had so elegantly and so perfectly. Oh my God, I am so thrilled with that information, you guys. Maybe it's not for everybody, and that's fine. And a lot of the people I was talking to, my friends and brothers through it, are like, "Oh, I'm done with motion control stuff." And like, I get that, but I feel like this isn't like the gimmick necessarily. I know there's a game that doesn't prove that theory, but I don't think it's the same way it was like with the Wii. I think it's just more continuing that for the games that require it, but I still think the focus of the Switch is, in a lot of ways, traditional gaming with just buttons and your 2 analog sticks. I still think that's going to be the main focus going forward for Switch control. But when we play our Splatoon, we've got the ability to play it the way we want, and when we play like, Zelda, if we want to swing our sword, maybe if that's possible, we can do that or whatever. I mean, the myriad possibilities. First-person shooter, maybe still like Metroid Prime 3. We can do it the pointer the way we want if people want to. I love that the versatility exists in the Joy-Cons. The Joy-Cons are incredible, actually. I'm blown away. They were the last thing that I expected to be excited about coming out of this, you guys, and I feel great about those. So that looks fantastic. The system and the technology and the play experience looks fantastic, which, by the way, the most important part to any video game console is the play experience. None of the other business shit and the marketing shit, the play experience. And I feel very good about all of that aspect of the Switch that they showed us tonight. The battery life, 2.5 to 6.5 hours. Too wide of a window to give us, but I mean, that 6.5 hour number sounds great. Who knows what makes the difference, how charged it is, the brightness of the screen, if you're connected to Wi-Fi, probably all these different things, whatever. It's a big range. 2.5 is too low, but 6.5 is far better than we expected. So whatever, that number is fine to me. It launches March 3rd. Wow, that is freaking soon. That is the first weekend of March. I don't think anyone expected that. We all thought it was going to be the 3rd or 4th weekend of the month, and it's right away, which means the launch of the system is really, really close. Holy crap. So that's great news, I guess. The earlier, the better. The price, $299. I mean, there's not much more to say about that than that's how much it costs. It's $300. Seems fine to me. Seems appropriate. That's great. Let's get into some of the less great stuff, which is overall the game's presentation and even some of the presentation itself. You guys, I tried to help people understand this presentation. This was never a bad thing. And I said this on 2 videos, not a bad thing, but an observational point to make that this was going to be in the Japanese language. And to me, that helped me understand how this was going to play out and how it would maybe be awkward and maybe be slow and not be exciting and not make you jump out of your chair very often. It's not the pacing of that thing with people reading, trying to translate live dialogue of another language. You get those awkward, crappy moments. This was not an exciting presentation by design. That's the key point, by design. So I know people are complaining about that because it was kind of boring. Well, yeah, it was the business kind of meeting from Nintendo that personally I sort of saw coming. It's just what it was. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. The games lineup, I don't think that they chose the best kind of games to showcase, but it is what it is. It's Nintendo being Nintendo. We want to expect, 10 games that are going to blow our socks off every time, and that doesn't happen. Like, that Nintendo hasn't done that since 2004. Literally, they haven't done it since 2004. So sadly, 2014. That Nintendo Direct 2014 was so good. So technically, they did it 3 years ago. But it's just not often that happens, you guys. So they didn't show the greatest games, but they showed a couple of amazing games. The ARMS game, I think it looks good. It's like they're trying to make their new Splatoon that takes advantage of the controller, and it's cool for what it is. I'm excited to give it a shot. It's not exciting, and obviously the name is dumb and everyone's making fun of that. And I wish that they showed better stuff, but that's what they chose to show. It's a new IP from Nintendo, so we got to give it a shot. I'm open-minded towards it, even though it's not what I was looking for. I'm open-minded. 1-2 Switch, right? That's the Wii Sports game. If that comes free with the system, that's great. I hope. Maybe they confirmed it didn't. I don't know if I actually heard them confirm it doesn't, but it's fine. It's Wii Sports. Whatever. It's got to exist. I'm not interested in it, but it'll have a market for the people who want to play it. Let's talk about the good stuff, you guys. There is some really good stuff. That freaking Mario, Super Mario Odyssey, did we see that game? Holy shit. That was so much better than any of us could have expected. Mario's Grand Theft Autoing through a city with humans. So weird. It seems like that's the hub world. The director of the game was talking about trying to emulate what they did with Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine with the hub world. This is the first time since then they've got a hub world. Seems like the cityscape is the hub world, but then it got Super Mario looking with those amazing environments all over the place. The gameplay with his cap that he throws around and jumps on. That was the Mario we've been looking for, Nintendo. That was the Mario we've been looking for. I've almost totally forgotten about 3D World, even though I love 3D World, but I've forgotten about it. I need me an Odyssey in my life, and that just looked so freaking good. The 2 other really big surprises that really, really got me. The obvious one is Xenoblade 2. Oh my God, when I saw Monolith's logo come on, I was like, thank you, Lord, show me something great. And they gave us Xenoblade 2. And what's tough is I don't think that's going to appeal to the wide audience, unfortunately. But it appeals to me, and it appeals to some very hardcore Nintendo fans. And I have to say, the joke I made is, oh my God, it's Xenoblade 2. It's the sequel to the good one, which isn't really a fair thing to say because Xenoblade Chronicles X is awesome. It's one of my 10 favorite Wii U games. But to me, it pales so much in comparison to the first Xenoblade Chronicles that I was excited to see this game seeming to be a sequel to that. Maybe I'm wrong. Or we are wrong, people who are thinking that. But I think it's a sequel to the Shulk Adventure, or more in line with what the Shulk Adventure was. And that's got me super pumped. Thank you, Monolith, for doing another Xenoblade game. Thank you for maybe making a sequel to the one that I preferred. They're both great, but I love that first one. Fire Emblem Warriors, that was a real thing. Wow. Didn't see that coming. I love that it was a nice little tease. I would have liked to see more gameplay, but hey, they told us it's coming. That's fine. Terrell, you nailed it with that one, man. I think Juice might have said that too. Fire Emblem Warriors was a real thing, and it's coming, and I'm sure it's going to be fantastic, so I cannot wait for that. And then, of course, the last really great thing was the finale with Zelda. If that wasn't the best video game trailer ever created, I don't know what is. That was the best trailer ever. It just kept getting bigger and bigger and better and better and more epic and more epic and more grand and more chaos and more shit flying everywhere and Link's in trouble, and that's Zelda. Zelda's talking, Zelda's crying, everyone's dying, Ganon's talking shit. It was such an amazing trailer. It felt like it was an eternity. I think that thing was like 12 minutes long, that trailer. There was so much going on. I told my brother as we were watching it on the phone, I was like, this looks like almost like a completely different game. than anything we've seen from Breath of the Wild. And I mean that in the best way possible. That was incredible. So Nintendo's bringing it with Zelda. It was their finale thing, which is a shame in the sense that it's Zelda, but what they showed us was so good. So it's like I'm torn, but fuck it. It's Zelda, and it looked so good. So that was really, really exciting, you guys. Like, there was, to me, 4 games blew me away. The system and the controllers blew me away. The presentation did not, and some of the other games did not. The way they presented everything else, the awkward speakers, the awkward translations. It was weird they tried some... Oh, Splatoon 2! Duh! Oh my god. So Splatoon 2, I called that. That was something else I called. I love that Splatoon 2 is coming. It does look like the first one, but whatever. From the day the Switch trailer revealed, I said that looks more like a sequel than a port, but I guess we'll see. So I've been maintaining that was probably more than likely a sequel, which it is. Zelda, launch day, March 3rd. I called it. Mario, holiday 2017. I called it. I said that. I called all this stuff. It's weird because I never try to predict things. And even when I do, I'm usually right like half the time, maybe. But today I was right on almost everything that I had actually talked about beforehand. So, I mean, I'm a little bit proud of that. I'll gloat a little bit, you know. I really nailed a bunch of things. Mario's holiday, that's smart. Launch with Zelda. It's the game we deserve to have first. March 3rd. Bring it the fuck on. And Mario's the holiday game. It's the game to look forward to for the holiday. That's great. That's fantastic. So anyway... I segued because I remembered the Splatoon thing, but they tried to do some of the humor thing with the guy dressing up and doing the Splatoon 2 stuff. That stuff appeals to a Japanese audience, and it's kind of weird for us to see, but it's really normal, and I thought it was fine. I thought it worked for what it was, and it was a little bit weird, but that's just the Nintendo way to do things. You know, they're in their home territory where that stuff makes a lot more sense, and it flies a little bit better. It comes off awkward to us watching it streaming at home and hearing somebody awkwardly translate it to our language as it's happening. It's awkward. That's Nintendo. They're awkward sometimes. So, I mean, that's that. You know, it is what... I got to tell you, Suda51 came on stage and just talked about Travis Touchdown. Travis Touchdown graced the stage in the most beautiful way, and I don't know what it's going to turn into, but the fact that Suda's talking about Travis, he's on stage at a Nintendo conference, that's fantastic. Todd Howard addressing everyone, confirming Skyrim, and talking about how excited they are with the Switch. I think it was fairly genuine. That was great. The EA thing was very disappointing. He didn't seem happy to be there, and all they had was FIFA? Like, give me a break. Come on, man. So, I don't think we can put our faith in EA again. You know, chalk another one up to EA. Probably not going to deliver here, and that's really too bad. But, you know what? All in all, in wrapping up, I thought it was fine, you guys. I thought it was fine. It's what it was supposed to be. It's what Nintendo was always meaning to give us. And like I said, hey, we have the treehouse to look forward to tomorrow, guys. Some stuff's going to come from there, I'm sure. That's where we can get more information and more details and see everything being played. We have to pay attention to that. I just always kind of knew when they announced the treehouse, I was like, I feel like that's where the better stuff is going to come from. The treehouse in New York City, where I'm going to be, and streaming that to the world. It's not going to be this initial presentation. But, I mean, I said this too. The presentation still gave us exciting Switch stuff, and I was worried people would be disappointed if the presentation wasn't good and not pay attention to the good things about the Switch that were shown. And it seems like some people might be doing that. But let's give it some time. In 4 days, everyone could feel the complete opposite in 4 days than they do right now. Whether you like it now, you'll hate it in 4 days, or if you hate it now, you'll like it in 4 days. Who knows? More information will come. I myself am flying to New York City first thing in the morning so that I can play the Nintendo Switch on Saturday. So I'll be there in New York City, maybe with Reggie and Miyamoto. They all seem to be in New York right now, and who knows? You know, it seems like I won't get to play that Mario game. That game seems not ready to show to the public, which is unfortunate. But everything else, I'm going to get to try probably the ARMS game. I'll see what that's like. I'm going to try those Joy-Cons, which I'm so excited for. I'm going to play me some Zelda, and it's going to be great. I'm so excited to be able to do this stuff. And who knows, there could be some more surprises there, man. And whatever I'm allowed to film and show you guys and talk about, I'm going to. But I have to wrap this up. I wanted to make this whole thing 7 minutes, and obviously I'm rambling on for freaking 20 minutes. So, I don't know, you guys. I thought it was fine. It was not E3. It was not amazing. I wish they handled the third-party thing better. I think they did miss an opportunity. But I expected this, so I'm okay. I'm happy. I'm excited for Nintendo. I'm excited to pick up the Switch. I think it's going to be really great. But they definitely, you know, let some people down, and they did some things not in a not ideal fashion, and it's kind of too bad. But, you know, there's plenty of time for all this stuff to turn around. So What do you guys think is the big question? How are you feeling? Are you super down and depressed and suicidal over the Switch presentation because maybe you didn't watch my videos and take heed to the wise words of Rob? Or do you think it was fine? Maybe you thought it was okay like I do. Or maybe you thought it was amazing. Whatever you feel, share your thoughts about that stuff below. I'm excited for the Switch, you guys. I'll be talking to you about the Switch after this weekend and showing you my hands-on time with it. I cannot wait to be in New York City and get my hands on the new Nintendo console. It's going to be a great time. And yeah, so that's it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Of course, as always, this is Rob of Rule of Two Review. Stay excited for the Switch. I'll talk to you from New York soon, and I'll see you next time on another video.